my house, so, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Good morning,
So if
Zach.
you ever-
All right. Well, I'd like to just keep us for 1 hour, which is what we sort of agreed last week. Colleen and Mary Ellen, you weren't here, but we did talk about meeting more frequently on Zoom, but for shorter periods of time. So it just doesn't become too strenuous or overwhelming or, you know. Okay. So having said that, I will quickly share my screen and go to the agenda. I disabled the waiting room and I disabled having to wait for me. So hopefully people will be able just to jump on board. Well, I got a lot going on here. Okay. Put this down. So I hid your faces. So if somebody needs me, just say something because I can't see you. Wait, what did I do? No, I wanted to keep that. So this is our website. And what I did was I pasted the agenda, as I have done in the past, right into the website. And so I guess we can start with the introduction, bring our faces back up. I'm Kim Anderson. I'm the chair of the Comprehensive Planning Committee and a selectman, person. Katie. Katie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Katie Bryant.
Yeah, Colleen.
I'm Colleen Gilliam. I'm a Wiscasset resident.
Mary Ellen.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Barnes. I work with Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission, and we are in the process of hiring our new county planner. But in the meantime, I thought I would sit in and catch up. So thank you very much for letting me join you today.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming. I'm really excited. Zach?
Zach Gray. I'm on the budget committee.
All right. That's that. All right. So item 2, review the minutes of the July 29th meeting. Let's see if this link works. So at July 29th, what we did was we went ahead and jumped into the goals, evaluating goals, because when we reviewed our January 28th minutes, we paid attention to the part where we said we should not get bogged down in the inventory. And that's something that comes directly from the state. Hang on one second. Sorry, I had to yell at my kids for a second. Okay, so because we did spend the first 6 months of our work updating the inventory, and there's still work that needs to be done there, but we want to also move beyond that. So we began looking at the goals and strategies, and we looked at the historic and archaeological goals and strategies set. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first thing we did was we went through this list of definitions that would, I don't know if everyone can see this. Do I need to make it bigger? I can make that bigger. All right, so we talked about each one of these terms and then if we had one or not. And so economic development director, we don't currently have. An ordinance review committee, we do have that. Road commissioner, we no longer do. Planning board, we do have an operating planning board. We do not have a transportation committee. Actually, Marilyn, I feel like that was something that maybe Elsworth would have wanted to have created or participated in, but now she's not with us any longer, and I don't think that we do have a transportation committee.
And I also think, Kim, that this was tied to some years ago when the town was involved with the earlier efforts to find a solution to Route 1. And so somebody like Don Jones and other people in town were part of an active transportation committee up through when the bypass was canceled, I believe. So obviously And it is something that you might want to consider for the future, but it was fairly active back some time ago.
Okay. And then we did have the MDOT committee, which surfaced, which maybe would have played the same sort of role working the MDOT downtown project.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. There are a lot of references in the 2008 comp plan to the future bypass, which we now know is not going to happen. Regarding the bypass, I'm just making a note there.
Yep.
All right, town planner, we no longer have. Waterfront committee, we have an operating, I don't know why this says this. I feel like this should say planning board. I wonder if this was one of those things where I was typing about the planning board, but thinking about the waterfront. Does anybody remember, did we talk about a waterfront committee, did we? No?
Well, you do have one. You do have one. So.
You have one, but I don't think it was in this section. I think this
Oh, I
is,
see. I see what you're saying. Okay.
yeah. All right, fix that. Conservation Commission, we do have, it says planning board again. All right, so someone obviously besides me should be doing notes. Okay, HPC, so this we have, and this we talked a little bit about, and this was actually the main goal really of this section in the 2008 plan. And as we mentioned before, it is on the September 8th ballot to repeal the HPC. And then we do have a code enforcement officer. So I created this table. Actually, this table was created up to here in the original plan. And then I just added a column that says progress as of July 20th. And so as we went through, we talked about, these are the goals, right, to meet the historic and archaeological resources section. So the first one was to appoint a historic preservation commission, and that did occur. So it's got a green check mark. The next one was to to create an educational program for landowners and the public, and this did not occur. So there were two steps under this. The first one was, as soon as the Historic Preservation Commission was created, they were supposed to reach out to homeowners and ask them if they wanted to include any information about their property in a sort of, I guess like a database or a collection that would be stored in the public library. And I emailed the library and also a member of the Historic Preservation Commission. And I heard back from the library that as far as they're aware, that never happened. There's no such collection housed in the library. So I put a red X that hadn't happened. The second step that they had listed was suggesting educational activities, which could include, and then there's a little list here, sponsoring a project using interested writers, perhaps high school students. So on that one, the librarian did tell me that there was a high school group that created a website 1 year as a school project. So I should probably track that down if we're gonna, follow all of these leads. But I haven't seen it myself. And then there was sponsoring a course and researching dates. I know that there are courses out there. I don't know if they're related to this plan. I think Les Fossil has some sort of education thing where he can come into your house and tell, or your barn and like tell you about the history of it. Combining the above two so that the product of the course is narrative, we do not have that. Undertaking a townwide survey for historic archaeological sites. I'm not aware that this has happened. And the librarian didn't know about it, and I haven't heard back from HPC, but I'm thinking probably not. And then this one about the 5th grade Maine history curriculum, that has not happened. There may have been times when that was included. I remember when I first started teaching, I was a substitute, and I went with 5th grade classes from middle school, when it was the middle school, and we went and toured the Nichols Sortwell House, and we went to Castle Tucker. So that did happen at one time. I don't know that that is currently happening. So this is something that still the red X. And then this next thing is probably not applicable anymore. Public forums on historic preservation ordinance. We put a red X. And as I read it more closely, I thought it's not really applicable. These would have been forums on developing the historic preservation ordinance, and all of that stuff is done. Like, we have an adopted ordinance, so I don't know if this is something that we need to consider going back to in the future. I feel like this is we have an ordinance. I don't know if we did the public forums or not. I'm not sure it matters. All right. Then these issues to consider: review the Secretary of the Department of Interior's Handbook for Historic Preservation. Issues to consider. I'm not sure if this item D, what even the action item was. I do know that there has been, I think our Historic Preservation Committee works with or in conjunction with the Maine State Historic Preservation Committee. So this red X could be like maybe a yellow, or I'm not really sure. We need to talk to a Historic Preservation Commission, I think. Going down these local ordinances, we did do this. Amend subdivision site plan review and shoreline zoning ordinances to require. And I think all of these things all can sort of be summed up in work that the Historic Preservation Committee does with their certificate of appropriateness. So we put a green check there. These last two things, I wasn't really, well, the property tax reimbursement, that's never happened that I'm aware of. This would have been one idea that the plan had, was that people would get some sort of incentive from the town, from a town created fund for preserving properties, and we don't have that. I don't know if that was ever discussed. I can't see that being really warmly welcomed at this time, but maybe in the future. And then this Route 1 and Historic Overlay District, this was referring to the bypass, and I just put, well, I think we all agreed that that was not applicable anymore because we're not having a bypass. The Main Street Main program. This one, Mary Ellen, I'm not sure if, remember when we started the Chamber of Commerce, wasn't there a discussion about being a downtown, a Main Street Main versus a chamber, and the group collectively chose chamber? So is that what this would have turned into?
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing to keep in place, but you're right, it hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, the Main Street Main program is really very interesting. It's doing great work in Bath and Rockland and all kinds of communities. So it's something to keep in mind. And maybe it's a place where the Friends of Wiscasset Downtown eventually evolve to. I will say, as a lot of these things they have costs associated with them. So Main Street Main really requires like a part-time staff person. So if you see Bath and Rockland and Belfast or wherever they are, Skowhegan, there's a part-time staff person that has good responsibilities here. And I think that one of the reasons that the chamber was more popular was that it was a more commonly known concept, chambers of commerce, and then the town wasn't looking at staffing at the moment. But I'm hoping that you won't forget that as a direction to consider.
Okay. Then cemetery maintenance, I think we did this. So I don't know if we have a couple of funds that are set up that are specifically for our cemeteries. And I don't know if those funds were there before this 2008 plan, but we have them now. And certainly we draw down on money from those funds to take care of the cemeteries. And then this last one, economic values, it says in the original plan to see the goals and policies about economy section. So, committee, with this little table, I guess my question for you guys is, as we develop a survey for the community. Do we want to include the relevant items with a red X in the survey for the community to the town saying, is this something you still are interested in pursuing? What do you guys think?
I think we'd have to take them one by one, but I'm thinking no. I mean, like Main Street, Maine, where it requires funding, we've got so many other things we need. And I have a question about historical. The program where there's a sign out on various historic properties, a sign out by the street. I'm not sure when that was begun, but
Do you
that's
mean-
something that we could check off.
Do you mean the
Been
museum
done.
and the streets thing?
Yes,
Yeah. That's been within my time. That's been in the past couple of years here. And I can't remember, Mary Ellen, who started that? Do you remember?
Yep. So it's done by an ad hoc group of good folks here. So it was started in 2011, 2012 with a lot of research, and it was actually installed by 2014. So we've just added one more sign this past summer, but it's been up since 2014.
All right, so I'm going to make a note that we should add that to our thing. Good call.
yeah. Just maintain it, keep it going.
All right. This is like a little action item we have to do later. I'll make it purple.
And we'll say, just for background for folks who aren't familiar with it, most all of those signs were paid for by donations. I won't bore you right now, but 2 or 3, including our wonderful friends at Ames and some other folks contributed some significant dollars, but the county paid for their signs, the town paid for a couple signs, then other dollars came from a variety of people. So the signs are usually paid for with private donations, and we usually need other money to help pay for the brochure. So
Okay.
it's not an ongoing expense to the town in any way, other than just maybe helping to put a sign up if it got knocked over or something like that. So.
I love the museum and the streets tour just as like an anecdotal side. I've taken my class on it, like little walking tours, and it's very good. It's a very good. And I also saw that Booth Bay just announced one. It was in the paper this. Yeah. Okay. So, and what about? Yeah. So Katie's thinking no, don't include some of these items in our survey to the public. Does anybody have a different thought, or can we just move on with that? Okay, we'll let that sit for now. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the end of that section. Let me go back to our agenda and see where we are. So that was basically the July 29th meeting. We went over that section. At the meeting, we also talked about, and I was going to show you all of the wonderful materials from the Municipal Planning Assistance Program, and that's here. So let me walk you through that. So when you click the link, which is in our website, you come up to this page, which I've shown you before, and if you go down here to spring 2019, you'll see Wiscasset. And if you click on that, what it wants to do is download a zip file. It takes a couple of minutes. So I went ahead and downloaded the zip file. And what you get, you guys are still seeing my screen, right? Okay. So don't look at all this other stuff. This is my my hard drive. But this blue file, Wiscasset, it gives you all of these files of information. And if you click open any one, there are even more files of information that would help a committee like ours to update their plan or to write a new plan, either way. So we're in the updating stage. And it's really very good information. So there are different things that are relevant that I would encourage each of us to read. And I pulled a couple up here so I can find them. Move this. Small. Okay. That. So here we have the, this is just a general information on building your own, wait, is this the first one I want to show you? Comprehensive plan. No, this is the first one I want to show you. Okay, so here's a manual for creating a comprehensive plan. I keep pointing to the screen like you can see me. Let me highlight. Here's a community visioning handbook. I think this will probably come in pretty handy for us. And then updating your comprehensive plan. This is probably the manual that we need to be looking at. So like how great is this, right? We have all this information just at our fingertips. So let me go back to where I was. So there's that. I'm gonna put there's the link to the zip drive place in the website, but I also thought what I would do is upload each one of the documents to the website. I don't know if that's labor intensive or necessary. I don't know if you guys just let me know what you think about that, because I could do that. It would take time to upload each document and then somebody wouldn't have to download them, and you would be able to look at it maybe from your phone or something. So that might be more user friendly. I'm just not sure how much people will really need to access this stuff. So like I could really go down a wormhole, but maybe that's not the best way to spend my time. I'm not sure. I'm open to any feedback. Like you could just tell me what you think. Okay, so, all right. Here is another item that I found that is super helpful. And we're gonna look at it today. So as we do the housing section, this is actually from the housing section. So when you are in here, right? Today we were gonna look at our goals under housing. So I was like, okay, here's the housing link. What do I have? I clicked open this data link and it comes up to this page right here. And this gives you a link to the state economist homepage, the main demographic projections page, a census page, and then it just goes on and on. There's housing data, American Fact Finder. These are the types of things that are really going to be useful when we update those inventory sections just for the numbers. We have you guys have done a lot of that work already, but we can cross-reference with this. But this one here is my favorite. And I'm no expert at this stuff, but it's the build your own data sheet page. This is really fun. So on this page, you can build your own data sheet. So click on this link, and then today we were going to talk about housing. So say we were just going to look at the average 2-bedroom rent with utilities. So you select what you want to find, and then you come down here and you pick Lincoln County, and then it'll allow you to choose Wiscasset, and then it'll allow you to choose a year. So I'll just pick the most recent one that is available. And then, so now our data sheet contains this average 2-bedroom rent with utilities. What does that look like? We can click view data sheet, and then here it is. And it says that the average rent for a 2-bedroom house with utilities in Wiscasset, according to this information, was $1,053.53. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool information right at your fingertips. And you can go back and fill in whatever you want. So medium home price, Lincoln County, whoops, Wiscasset. Like, this is fun. I don't know, if you're a data nerd, you could really just play with this all day. I'll pick 2013 again. And I'm going to add that selection. And I'm going to look at my data sheet. And it says here, like, wow, look at that. Isn't it fun? Like, this is so terrific. So it says okay, I have to admit, I do not know what an affordability index is, 0.93. So that's something that I would need to know. Do you know anyone, Mary Ellen? Or?
There's something available from Main State Housing that compares, that defines the affordability index, and that puts Wiscasset in a comparable place to other communities. So I can get that to you as well, but
It's probably in there, right?
I'm not sure, because I think what you're looking at is like a distillation of data from other sources. So you'd think that definition would be here, but I'm not sure. I don't usually look at it this way, Kim, but this is fun because you can find a lot of data pretty quickly this way, so.
It's super gratifying. Just click a button and there it is. Like everything should be so easy. It has an easy button on it. All
Kim,
right.
Kim, are you going to post that link to this general page into our website page?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. I will do that right this second. I mean, all of these links are accessible through the link with the download. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like,
Right.
and not everybody's going to download all that stuff and then find it. So maybe something like this, I should just post and share.
Yeah, like if you just shared like the general link, and then people who want to dig can download just the parts that they're interested in digging into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think I should put it right in our website, Colleen?
Yeah, it just keeps it in one place.
So in our website, we have home. I guess what I'll do is another tab. So we've got the 2008 comprehensive plan, and then we have our meeting agendas and minutes, right? And so maybe I can just do another tab that says data sources, and then I can link stuff there.
Yeah.
I will do that. Thank you. I really like instructions from other people. All right, where were we? Oh, okay, so let's go back to our agenda. We're looking at it right here. And I guess that's it, overview of municipal planning assistance program materials. There's all that information, and I will create a new tab over here and put in some relevant links, but maybe not every single link because it will really become like a rabbit hole. And so before I move on to the evaluation of goals on housing, we're doing great on time. Does anybody have any questions or comments about what we're talking about or process or anything at all before we move on?
No.
Okay. Okay, so next we will do these goals. So I created a little table. I shared it with you guys. And, you know, when the plan was originally written, I think it was in the days before Google Docs. So some of the formatting that I dragged into Google Docs is like wonky on the tables. So what I ended up doing was just copying the tables into a sheet, and then I could drop the sheet more easily into the website. So that's what this is, and I just shared it with everybody this morning. I see Zach's in there. Hi, Zach.
Yeah.
And so today I dragged in the housing thing, and then I guess this is the part of the meeting where we will look at the policy, the strategy, the responsibility, and then talk amongst ourselves about the progress, and then decide what more information we need to find. So, can everyone see this, or should I make it bigger? Bigger. I don't know how to make it bigger. I do know how to make it bigger. I'm just tired of the sound of my own voice, people. Please feel free to comment. Okay. Policies.
Great.
We have housing availability. So make housing, including rental housing, available to everyone in the community. That was the policy. The strategy was, it looks like manufactured homes continued to permit manufactured housing throughout the town, except in the Village 1 and Village 2 districts. Ongoing responsibilities or ongoing priority. It doesn't say who is responsible for this, but it's an ongoing priority. And then this is where we can evaluate just loosely amongst ourselves how we think that's going. Anybody have a comment? Colleen? Did you have your hand up?
No, I'm sorry. I just got a calendar notification. I was getting rid of it. Came up
Zach,
on my
you
screen.
comment? No, anyone have a comment? I mean, I can just like talk about it, but maybe you guys.
Yeah, I have,
So
for it, if that's helpful.
Go ahead, Zach.
Just looking at the main housing from 2017, the data has like the total rental households, and we can compare that to 2008 because I believe that's when this one was done. In 2008, we had 393 total rental households, with the affordability being at 66.2%. And they were saying for a 2-bedroom household, it was $742 was what was needed. And then in 2017, there's 365 total rental units. So that's a decrease of 7.1%
Oh,
of rent. And the affordability is at 65.2%. So it's a percent less than 2008. And then the affordability of housing is at $839 is in 2007.
all right.
So I'd
When
say that now.
I missed
Are
the
we-
part, Zach, where you said how many total rentals there were in 2017.
2017, 365.
All right. So in terms of rentals, it looks like we have not met our goal to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, total buildings sense from the census has us going up 10% in the 2010 census, but that doesn't include rent. I don't know what that includes for rentals.
Okay. Total buildings have gone up, is that what you said?
Yeah, 10% as of the 2010 census.
All right.
Which is low for the region. Us and Dresden and Westport were the only ones right around there, and like Edgecombe was at 24%, and it was.
Okay. But we don't know, I guess we could probably, go ahead.
So I think, I don't have it all in my head here, but the affordability index is based on prices of rents and mortgage costs compared to area income. So I have a feeling that things that are under 1.0 are unaffordable relatively compared to those above 1. So again, this is all calculated by Maine State Housing. So we can definitely get that to you as supportive information. Or maybe Zach's already found it on the Maine Housing website.
You said less than 1% would be not considered affordable.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right. And so it looks like, just real briefly off the cuff, it's not affordable. And actually, just besides looking at the data, just speaking
Right.
from my friends who are buying houses, they're not buying them in Wiscasset right now. I have 2 friends who are single moms, and they both needed to purchase something in around the $150,000 range, and they both ended up in Augusta because and they wanted to be here, but it just wasn't possible to get something that didn't need a ton of work that was here. Does anybody else have any anecdotal stories they want to share? Okay.
I mean, for this data as well, it says that the renter household median income is $33,561 in 2017, but the income needed to afford a 2-bedroom is $45,632.
All right.
Big gap.
All right. So this is make housing, including rental housing, available to everyone in the community. That has not occurred based on this information so far. All right. What's the next one? Let's look at the next one, and then we'll talk about what we think we do with this information. Okay. So the next thing is to have a 10% incentive. Strive to have at least 10% of all housing built during the next decade be affordable, according to the Maine State Housing Authority's definition of affordable. So I guess that would be our affordability index, right, Mary Ellen? And so the strategy to do that is in residential districts, permit a density bonus in a subdivision for dedicating and pricing 10% of the lots for affordable housing. In the neighborhood overlay district, amend the current zoning ordinance to create a neighborhood overlay district where water and sewer exist. The lot sizes can be reduced. There would be a density bonus in exchange for more affordable units. I don't know. I feel like this, I don't know, I feel like we would need to maybe talk to the ordinance review committee or the planning board about this stuff. I really hesitate to even offer a thought on it. I feel like we're not doing this. I don't know about any, as a selectman, I haven't heard about any 10% incentives.
I think we'd want to look to see whether any ordinances have been changed since 2008. So I don't know what your current subdivision or zoning says right now. I know you're about to vote on something, right? You're going to vote on something soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we want to, exactly, there are some ordinances around subdivisions right now. I'm not comfortable talking about that right now. I would need to read about it again.
Yep.
See if any ordinance. And that's just because I don't feel like I know it well enough to talk about it, not because it's confidential or anything. I would want to study it. Check and see if any ordinances for housing have been changed. Now. Okay. I know that there's the there are a couple of different subdivisions. The street that I live on is a subdivision, and every house is a Hallmark home. You know, it's a modular home, and it's all new. I think the street didn't exist in 2000. Well, maybe the street did, but all of these houses weren't here back in 2008. So there may be other neighborhoods where they've done that, but I don't know that that's anything that the town did, but it could have to do with the zoning. All right, it looks like we've got some work to do to fill this in. I don't think that there has been a big push to create this affordable housing, but I guess we need to check the zoning. Any other thoughts on this stuff? Mariel?
Well, I want to take another look at it, but I'm just catching up myself. But right at this point, because most of the towns in Maine are facing the same dilemma, I think you might want to look at more strategies for the future, because it's going to be an ongoing challenge here. If we want additional families to grow up in our neighborhoods, we need better housing choices. So I think this deserves a lot more attention whenever you get to the point of setting new goals.
Okay.
You know, one small thing that's happened is that you now have a Habitat for Humanity house, and you wanted to create more opportunities for those as well in the future. Though that's only helping one household at a time, it's still out there publicly as a strategy for the town to try to help Habitat for Humanity to acquire the property, things like that. And so that's at one end of the spectrum where you're working with one family kind of at a time, but. This is just a challenge statewide, and a lot has been done in terms of looking at different strategies in communities all across the state. So I think it deserves a lot more attention.
Okay. So definitely we want to, if you were going to include questions about the section in the survey, it might be helpful to come up with brainstorm a list of different strategies and then have people react to them. Is that,
okay.
And then also maybe leave a space where people could fill in their own idea. You know, there could be ideas that we haven't thought of.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Let's see. That's all there was in there for housing. We have some time. Do you guys want to move on to the next section, or let me go back?
Okay.
me see. Get this over here. Oh, okay. So I guess let's talk about the survey. So because that's it. So we're going to come back. We definitely want to put more information in our survey about housing. There was a survey in 2008, and we do have the survey results. And Anne actually shared the survey questions with us. The questions aren't in the original plan, but the results are. So if I click down here, and has everybody had a chance to look at them at all? Zach, I feel like you were looking at them.
I've looked at them. I believe it's from 2004
Okay.
survey.
Oh, and you know what else I discovered when I was reading through? There was a comprehensive plan in 1989. So I emailed Kathy and asked if that was, Kathy in the town office, if that was around, you know, just to look at it, but I haven't heard back about that yet. Mary Ellen, do you know about that one? Oh, you're
No, I don't.
no.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, 1989. That was I had a perm. Yeah. All right. So what is this? I'm scrolling really fast. Let me stop. I think what I wanted to. I don't want to read every single thing, but these the survey results. If I could get to the top here, I felt like it was largely about places and favorite places.
Hmm.
But I only looked at the results. So yeah, it says here, what do you want where in Wiscasset? It's sponsored by the 2004 Comprehensive Plan Committee. So it appears by looking at these results that the goal or the information they wanted to glean from the community was about their favorite places, like physical localities. And probably that's based on that information. That's why it seems like a large part of what they worked on was around historic and archaeological resources. So, yeah, I don't know if we want to go through all of that stuff.
From the email that Ann sent us, it breaks down percentages. It's quite different from what you have there.
All right, do you think I should pull that up instead?
I think it probably more helpful. Like it summary of the whole survey. Like it doesn't mention any of those places.
Thank you, Zach.
Fine. No worries. It's the first document, and then you can just scroll through them.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's happening. I've become one of those people that can't work the computer while everybody watches in a Zoom meeting.
You do pretty well, Kim. You do pretty well. So
I'm gonna download that and then there we go. Okay, so is this what we're looking? I should be looking at, Zach?
Yes, yeah, but there's like four pages, but they were sent to us one page at a time.
I see. Okay, thank you. So let's read through these because we have time. And I can read them to you. I'll do that. So 85% of the people live in Wiscasset because of the small town atmosphere. 82% encourage diverse businesses with design and landscape standards. 58% favor concentrating development in areas that currently or could offer water and sewer. If you guys have any comments as I go through this, please stop me. Like one thing I would comment on the public water or sewer is that if we had more people plugged into the sewer system, it would reduce the rate for everybody. And that's something that we may want to try and put into our plan, like how for that reason, that there's like a direct value. Okay. 86% in favor encouraging new small retail restaurant and businesses on Route 1 and Route 27. So I would say that, I don't know if it was a direct result of the plan, but that Chamber of Commerce has helped in making this more of a reality. 80% in favor of balancing property rights with the need to protect natural resources. 61% in favor of allowing development at a greater density in consideration of exchange with preservation of most of the remaining land. 82% in favor of protecting natural resources. Zach, did Ann tell us how many people participated in the survey?
Uh,
I think-
yes. Question 33. It says there's 17. I can add them up. 17, 32, 12, 16, and 30. So that's about 100 people.
Okay.
It'll be questions too, so you would see what their choices were. And then I think the table is really helpful as well, kind of getting a feel for what maybe people want from the town.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. Is it this one right here?
Yeah, that's the one that I thought could be really helpful to do something similar to that. So so the selectmen as well as the budget committee could have some sort of guidance from voters.
Yeah.
Kim, I've got to leave the meeting. I just wanted to, thanks for letting me attend here, and I'll catch up with you on, and read the minutes, okay?
All right, thanks. Bye, Colleen. Have fun at work.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is actually really good. I looked at this before. I wonder these results are great and I want to look at them, but right now we have a few minutes left and I want to just generate some ideas. How do we think we could do this, but maybe make it better for next time around? Like I would like to get more than 100 responses.
Yeah, I think if we did it as like an online component, it could be a Google probably. And then we could have it on the town website or Facebook or
Both.
yeah, both. Plus have, hard copies if we needed to, I guess. But I think that would get us a lot more people. We don't know for sure. We'd have to probably require them, require we'd have to trust them to put their correct address if we wanted their address, to make sure they're Wiscasset residents.
And to make sure they weren't voting more than once.
Yeah. So maybe we could just require it by email. Like, so it would be, we would get their email and we could set it up so they can only take it once. And we could have one of their address if you want. I mean, we could do something like that. So we can.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Do you think that would, I mean, I'm trying to imagine like why somebody would want to do it anonymously.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Muriel.
No, I think I don't know what Katie was going to say, so please, Katie, go ahead.
I was just wondering if we are allowed to mail it to the taxpayers. I mean, the list from the town, are we allowed to do that?
I believe
Go out to everybody.
Yeah, I believe we are, and we have that money. We have not spent our $20,000 yet. So on the $20,000, I just wanted to verify before John O'Connell left to make sure that didn't get lost in the shuffle. So we did not put a new budget line in this next budget for comprehensive planning. We didn't spend last year, so we agreed that what the select board wants to do is to just have that $20,000 from last year available for this year, but we have to vote on that after. We have to vote on carryover and how we want to spend it after, I guess after the budget. I think we're going to probably vote on that so hopefully I'll still be on the board at that time because I think it'll be after the election. But if I'm not, then I'll go and I'll stand at the podium and make a case for it, that we have this money. And yeah, I thought that we could do a mailing. We should do all of those things probably, right? Like a mailing and put the survey out on Facebook and put the survey out in public spaces. Bob McDonald and Dwayne Good at the rec told me that if I gave them information about the comprehensive plan process, they would put it on their TV in the community center lobby. So if we had like some sort of slideshow with information, I don't know how else we can get it out. And again, this is the type of thing where we want to try and get the survey to like a wide cross section of people in town. So it's not just the same type of people, you know, like we don't want only young family people or only retirees. We'd like to hear from everybody. Do we want to know who they are? Like, should there be a part of the survey that says, you know, like collects demographic information?
Yeah, I did find that it does have all the questions. That was another attachment in it. And it does ask like how old they are. You know,
Okay.
18 to 44, 45 to 64, 65 plus.
Okay.
And then how long was Cassett?
Okay. All right. It'll be interesting to see, like, if we follow some of these question types, I think it'll be interesting to see how people's opinions and attitudes have changed, you know, about some of the things that have been controversial over the past few years, like education and EMS and the police department and Parks and Rec. Yeah, I would love to know like how everybody feels now about those things moving forward, you know, not so many question marks or not the loudest voice.
Also, it's a good time, I know you might have done this in the last few years, but a lot of towns are coming back to figuring out about marijuana legislation and even short-term rental legislation. So there might be some issues that have popped up in the last few years that you want to touch base on as well.
Yeah, we did vote to open the door to create retail establishments for marijuana, which was a contentious vote at the select board.
Yep.
We did pass it 3-2, so that was, it's just what we need. More like public drinking and marijuana. Just kidding. All right. So, Zach, I'm going to defer back to you because I'm tired of the sound of my own voice anyway. But is there anything else you want to think that we should look at right now from what Ann sent us? And I'm going to re-forward her stuff to everybody in the committee as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should look over the questions. I mean, probably not today, but at some point just to see if there's ones we want to add or. Or if we want to do something similar. The questions are it's in the doc at the very end. Not the last one, but the one, I think they sent that with them. That was like the one you're looking at is what they gave them for instructions. It's the comp plan draft survey questions.
This one? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is fabulous. I have not looked at this one yet.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, we can just copy this and then write over it with our updates and add to it. And wow, this is great. No sense reinventing the wheel. But there are things that we're going to want to add. Like I know that people are going to want to probably talk about the waterfront, for instance, and adding in the marijuana. Well, yeah, we'll have to brainstorm. So what about this as an idea? Can I copy this over and send it to everyone and then have people look at it before the next meeting and make recommendations of things to add or take away?
Good idea.
Okay,
That sounds.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
that's okay. What did you say, Zach?
I said sounds good.
Yeah,
Great.
but also I can send you, so Westport is the town in the area, a totally different town than Wiscasset, but it's a town in the area that's had a fairly recent completed comprehensive plan last year, and I can forward you guys the survey that they did. So again, it's a simpler town for sure, but they also highlighted some other very important topic, but it's broadband, and so I'll get that out to you guys.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so that's going to be my homework for next week, is to put together those pieces and then send it to our committee, soon, like in the next day, so that it, I apologize, like today's agenda came out last night. But if I'll get on it like today, and then people will have time to look at it before we meet again next week. And maybe we can also go through the next section of the goals, which is economy. We're almost out of time. Do we want to set a date for next week? How does morning work? I mean, we're here. Some other people couldn't make it, but I don't know if it was because of jobs. I think it was today just wasn't a good day. Does anyone have a thought on next week's meeting time?
You fine with having it the same as today? So next
Mhm.
Thursday?
Thursday morning? This works for me too. Wait.
It's my birthday,
Well, I can have a meeting at 8 o'clock.
but I'm gonna be up.
Happy birthday.
Next week is her birthday. All right. Well, I'll do a doodle, but I'm thinking that this.
Yeah.
I'll talk with my colleagues over here and in the household, and we'll make sure that an 8 a.m. meeting works. Let's just plan that for next week at 8, and then I'll make it up to Linnea. A meeting on her birthday. All right. I'm trying to scroll in I have to move you guys. And I'm also happy to keep meeting on Zoom, even if it might be safe for this number of people to meet in the town office. I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy just to be home. So I think that COVID may change meetings forever more into the future. There will be a lot less need for people to go driving around the meetings all the time. Okay, so that date would be August 13th. I don't need to double check my calendar for that. I happen to know that day. At 8 a.m. Anything else before we clear? Okay. Oh, one thing I should have probably mentioned, I didn't have it on the agenda, so I didn't think of it, but the new town manager asked me to update the select board on Tuesday about what we've been doing. So I wrote a little report, just summarizing what we've been doing, and I encouraged everyone to check out our website and to offer us feedback. And I'll post that little report in our comp plan page as well. There wasn't time to run it by you guys before I shared it, so I hope that's okay with everyone. But it's nothing more than what I pulled out of our own minutes. So. But please let me know if that's problematic at all. You can email me or whatever. All right. I'm gonna stop this. Is there anything else before we say goodbye for the week?
Nope, thanks for letting me sit in this morning, so cool.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I hope you always have time to come. We'll you have all this knowledge. So thank you so much, Marilyn.
All right, yep.
All right, well, that's it then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Katie.
Bye, Katie. Bye, Zach.
See you later.